Tell me, Jabari, do you have a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment.
There's a story there.
Did you just catch that? There is something weirdly odd about how the dialogue is. I almost couldn't put my finger on it the first time I was watching. You know what? Here's another one. Check this out.
Well, I'm like.
Wallahi.
Right there. Notice anything strange with how they speak? In filmmaking, we have something called subtext. Subtext is the implicit unspoken meaning beneath the surface of dialogue and action, representing a character's true feelings, motivations, or hidden thoughts. It acts as the underground river of a story where words convey more than their literal meaning.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Take a scene from Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. When Vito Corleone says he's going to make someone an offer they can't refuse, he simply means he's going to threaten them to the point that they have no option but accept the offer given. And this is the offer right here. So which sounds better? The one with the subtext or the one without? You know what? Let's put a pin on this subtext topic later. I'll circle back and come back to it at the end of the video. Boda Love is a 2024 Kenyan movie written and directed by Janet Wells. And I came to know about this film because everyone kept pestering me about it in the comments. I don't know, I kinda thought that this was going to be the next big thing, the first ever good Kenyan rom-com, because of how it was marketed and advertised and how it was getting all this hype with all the Kalasha nomination awards. And come on guys, why did you guys just have to do this to me? Why did you have to subject me to this much torture? Don't get me wrong, it could have been a great movie, but it just suffers from the one problem that I keep talking about in all my reviews. If the story is shit, the movie is shit. That's just how it works. The script always comes first. You have a really bad problem of writing a script, the bad dialogue, and the completely stupid dog shit writing. Don't ever write another script worth over 10 minutes long. You can make a movie over 10 minutes long, but don't write that script. Kenya has a really big problem when it comes to writing the bare minimum industry standard acceptable script with sensible dialogue. It's almost embarrassing to say that in the history of me watching all these locally produced movies, the only one that ever came close to film festival material will always be Rafiki and Nairobi Half-Life. Everything else just feels subpar. But first, here's the synopsis. Boda Love starts off like one of those fairy tale love stories, right? A British woman named Charlotte flies all the way to Kenya, completely in love with this guy she met online. In her mind, this is it, her big romantic moment. New country, new life, new love. But the second she lands, reality hits her like a portal on a Nairobi road. The guy, a scammer. Her money, gone. Her plans completely shattered, and just like that, she's stranded in a country she doesn't know with nobody to trust. That's when Jabari comes in. He's a boda rider, just living his everyday life, hustling like everyone else, but he sees her lost, frustrated, completely out of place, and instead of ignoring her, he helps. No big hero speech, no grand entrance, just simple kindness. Simp. He takes her in, brings her to his home, and suddenly Charlotte is thrown into this whole new world. His family, his culture, their noise, the warmth, the chaos. It's uncomfortable at first. She's not used to any of it. Jabari is not just living for himself. There is a responsibility sitting on his shoulders. Expectations to provide, to show up, to be dependable, even when he's tired or stretched thin. And in a home that's already tight on space and resources, bringing in Charlotte, that's not a small decision. It adds tension even if it comes from a good place. And here's the thing, Jabari doesn't complain much. He absorbs it. You see it in the way he keeps moving, keeps helping, keeps choosing kindness even when his life is constantly fucking him over. But that also means he doesn't always put himself first. His dreams, his frustrations, his limits, they kind of get pushed to the side. So when Charlotte enters his life, it's not just romance. It disrupts his already fragile balance. Helping her costs him time.
Huyu msichana atamaliza pesa za Jabari. Kabisa?
Money affects everything, but he still chooses to stand by her. Jabari isn't just a love interest. He is a mega stupid simp. But as they spend more time together, trying to track down the guy who scammed her, something shifts. It's no longer just about fixing what went wrong. They start to understand each other, laugh together, challenge each other. The gap between their worlds starts to shrink. And somehow, in between all the tension, the misunderstanding, and the little victories, feelings start to grow. They eventually help catch the conman fiancé. Then he pipes her, she gets pegged, and they live happily ever after. The end. Yeah, no, seriously, that's basically it. That's the story of Boda Love. Here's the thing about Boda Love. This film had a chance to be a good and different rom-com by doing something unique. But the two main problems that drag it down into a basic, normal, and forgettable YouTube flick is its poor writing and directing. I know it's not like a broken record at this point, but I'm dying on this hill. The most important part of any fictional material will always be the plot, the character development, the writing, and every other thing that makes up a script. The script always comes first. A shit script with a good VFX, good soundtrack, good acting, good cinematography, and good costumes and makeup still equals to a bad movie. I don't know how much I can emphasize this. Boda Love was written and directed by Janet Wells. She really doesn't have a track record of making good movies at all. No, seriously. Her first ever film was this weird Romeo and Juliet inspired flick called Social Suicide. You can check out its trailer right over here. And it's also free on YouTube. And just by looking at how bad the trailer is, you can tell that this was mediocre. No, seriously, it has a 4.8 on IMDb. And looking at the few reviews, I'm not the only one who thinks it's trash. She didn't make another movie until 2024's Boda Love. You would think that in that one decade that Janet Wells never made any movie, never directed anything, never shot anything on camera officially, that she was practicing her skills and she was honing up her craft to become a better filmmaker and learn from all her mistakes. Nope. She did nothing. Absolutely nothing. By the way, I'm a really big fan of rom-coms. Four favorite are Crazy Stupid Love starring Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone and Steve Carell, this 2001 French film called Amélie, this 1999 movie called 10 Things I Hate About You starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Heath Ledger. You know, the guy who ended up playing the greatest Joker.
Why so serious? I love you, baby! Serious.
And of course, The Princess Bride. One common thing about these four films is how well the protagonists are written. In Amélie, she is portrayed as a smart, cunning, and analytical about her surroundings and is able to uplift everyone's mood. One thing Amélie was not is a hopeless romantic. Amélie becomes intrigued by a mysterious man who collects discarded photo booth pictures. Though she longs for love, she struggles to step out from behind a carefully constructed curtain. The plot of Amélie doesn't insult your intelligence by handing you, the viewer, a straight-to-the-point solution to every obstacle. Amélie doesn't just trust people. She is smart and analyzes everything before taking an action. The problem with Boda Love is how the protagonist Jabari is made to look like a complete, gullible, hopeless, romantic, simping piece of garbage. Jabari is written as this all-good, all-loving, and all-caring character who has never committed any wrong his whole life, everybody's well-being but himself. When we first see him, he instinctively goes out to help this Mzungu over here called Charlotte as she is getting mugged by these two mean-looking thugs. His first instinct is to go and rescue her by trying to capture them without even thinking, which he unsurprisingly fails at because he never thought it through. This was despite his friend warning him about it. Not only is Jabari outnumbered, he is at a disadvantage of losing his bike, his only source of income, while he was pursuing them. But he risked it all for a woman he just saw for 30 seconds and never even talked to. This is not bravery. This is not being kind, being stupid. He takes her to record a statement to a police station despite knowing that he is in trouble with the feds.
Wewe kijana, ni kama nakujua.
And later during the day, he comes back for her to take her to his place where they are all already congested because they live in a slum, so that she can sleep over without caring about inconveniencing any of his family members. The following day, he uses his life savings to be glammed up and volunteers to take her out to this posh restaurant.
So we're here to find your fiancé.
Why else would I have dragged you all the way out here?
Of course.
He thought that she was asking him for a date. At no point did he ever stop and ask her why they were going there. He automatically assumed that she was already into him. And before going on the date, Jabari entrusts his ailing and dying mother to Charlotte for a clinical appointment because of how busy he was with his work. FYI, he could have asked his older brother, who is a bum and has nothing to do this task, but nope. He decided to entrust his mother to a stranger he's known for barely 12 hours. He goes to a posh restaurant without any backup plan about the bills. Ended up paying using his rent money. Sneaks her to his former university that he dropped out of for an unnecessary opening up session that grabs a shitload of screen time. Opens up his feelings and history to a stranger who barely tells him about her affairs, by the way. She was silent this whole opening up session. She was like, okay, tell me everything you know. I'm just gonna sit here and pay attention. This is a one-sided opening sesh. Who motherfucker woni anabeba ujinga hapa? Like, who tells everything they have about their life to someone they just met 24 hours ago? I mean, I understand that this guy was horny as fuck because he rarely gets laid, but come on, man. Yeni ujinga gani tunafanya hapa? And after all that, they come home and he forfeits his sleep because he was looking at her sleep the whole night. I know it looks like I'm going hard on this guy, but here's the thing. Jabari just knew this white-ass bitch for fucking 1 day. Let me get this straight. You've known someone for less than 24 hours, but you use your life savings and rent money to bail her out of an expensive restaurant bill and trust your sick mother to her. Illegally trespass a university that you dropped out of despite being in trouble with the popo. You can get arrested for this stupid little stunt. Trespassing is one thing, but trespassing then going to the rooftop with a freaking illegal immigrant who doesn't have a passport and choose not to work on your border job the whole freaking day because you are preparing for a date? I don't know, man, this guy is just fucking stupid.
You're a simp.
Halfway through the movie, I was even asking myself, how the hell did none of these other family members call him out on all this shit he was doing? How do you just watch the sole breadwinner of the house reduce himself to being a stupid simp? And this is not only applicable to Jabari. This Mzungu is also equally stupid. In 24 hours, she entrusts a foreign man she just met with her life and volunteers to do all this, including trespassing private property and taking his dying mother to a hospital? Even her backstory is just giving dumb, blonde vibes. Charlotte got into all this mess because she sold her dead mother's house, car, and properties and gave all the money to her fiancé. On top of that, she also gave him all her passwords to everything, all her social media, all her bank accounts. Trusted him when he said that he will buy them a house and they will be married. She got tricked into getting robbed at a slum and again gets drunk and entrusts her already gullible ass to a stranger she has barely known for 2 days in a foreign country. You can't even make this up. There is being hopeless romantic and then there is being stupid. The protagonist and the deuteragonist of this story are single-handedly the two dumbest people I have ever seen in any rom-com movie ever. Come on, who does all this within the first 48 hours? Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars is better written than these two people. Janet Wells and Grace Irungu fail at delivering the bare minimum of writing sensible fiction plot.
You know, you may have the most wonderful actor in the world and you're just seeing past their ears. And if they're doing this, it's incredibly distracting.
If you're right there by the camera, when you say cut, they will all look to you. Be there, look at their eyes, see the environment around them.
There is nothing that sticks out like a sore thumb, like a bad direct. Bad directing can single-handedly bring down everything in a movie, including the acting, story, and pacing. I want you to look at this scene right here. We are building towards the climax of the plot at around the 40th minute. And we are in a scene whereby these two doofus lovebirds have illegally trespassed University of Nairobi and have gone for a bonding session in the rooftop. Let me show you why I find this scene unnecessary and stupid. The main purpose behind it is for both Jabari and Charlotte to open up to each other about their personal lives. Like this happened when both of the lovebirds in a rom-com have been through a lot briefly. Take this kissing scene from 10 Things I Hate About You. Great movie, by the way, you should go watch it. Patrick refusing to kiss Julia because she was drunk makes sense. He was with her not only throughout the night, but throughout the whole school. The whole movie. He wanted their first kiss to be when she was sober, because that's his character. This car scene seems redundant because it happens again later, but both of it were necessary. A moment when two characters are vibing and bonding and it's only them two and there's minimal plot progression but character development should be earned. 40th minute mark. These two niggas have been around each other for approximately less than 8 hours. I want you to get this. As of this point of the story, Charlotte has spent more time with Jamari's grandmother than him. She was with his mother the whole day at the clinic. It doesn't make sense that a simple dinner date that she screwed you over and made you pay using your rent money is reason enough for you to open up. You should be angry at this stranger for inconveniencing you. You do not open up to someone who's seemingly taking advantage of you right now. This was the opportunity for Janet Wells and Grace Irungu for them to have their first argument. I wanted to see them argue right here, not vibing. One person has clearly inconvenienced another person greatly. This is the time to let out your frustrations, your anger.
You're a simp.
This is poor directing. Take a look at this shot right here. Why the fuck do we have a drone shot zooming out to show them climb up the helipad? The whole drone shot takes over 10 seconds. Come on, najua mliambiwa na UN muiadvertise. Lakini tuachane kubeba na ufala. Why do you need a 20-second shot of a drone zooming out ndo tuoneshe mtu akipanda stairs, ndo tuone logo ya UN, ndo tuone UN Tower Campus? Like mbona? Were you people this desperate to raise money for the budget? Mimi nataka tu kujua mlilipwa ngapi ndo muonyeshe hii building ya UN hapa. Cause hii ni ujinga. I hate unnecessary shots in a movie. If it doesn't serve the story, cut it. The director chooses to deliberately not show important backstories like how Charlotte and her fiancé were when they were in Europe. We only got this one montage. I don't believe that Charlotte even loved her fiancé because she barely shows any sort of relationship about the fiancé. We just know that she had a fiancé who screwed her over. But where's the proof? Don't tell us. Show us. Show. Don't tell. That's the basic fucking rule of filmmaking. I keep saying that in every single time. Show me what you want. Don't tell me it. Don't narrate it to me. Show it to me. It's really that simple. Why the hell is everyone finding it so hard to do this? Why?
Would your wife mind? Anita?
We do not see who Anita was. All we saw was her name on the motorcycle. Anita is not important to us, the audience. Anita is a MacGuffin for the protagonist to remind him of his failure. A MacGuffin is a plot device, an object, a person, or a goal that drives the story forward and motivates the characters, but is ultimately irrelevant to the audience or the story's deeper themes.
You're gonna tell me where the rabbit's foot is, or she dies.
I want you to think of the rabbit's foot in Mission Impossible 3. Nobody knows what the hell it is, but we do know that it's important to the story. We never see it, we don't know how it works, but it's what the villain wants, and it's what Ethan Hunt is after. It's that shiny briefcase from Pulp Fiction.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Is that what I think it is?
It's the Philosopher's Stone from Full Metal Alchemist. It's the One Piece treasure from the One Piece anime.
One Piece wa jitsuzai suru.
A MacGuffin, it's always called the thing that the characters on the screen worry about, but the audience don't care.
A MacGuffin is used to drive the plot, regardless if we the audience care about it. Anita was never seen in the story. We don't even know if this guy was even in a relationship. All we know is that he mentions that he used to have a chick called Anita. The protagonist's backstory is reduced to a freaking MacGuffin. Every scene where he tells her about Anita is effectively useless and should have been left in the cutting room floor. I don't know who the editor for this movie was, but I just want to meet you and freaking smack you in the face because this film had one of the worst editing I have ever seen. Take a look at this scene right here where Charlotte is getting robbed. I want you to name the number of cuts. Here's the timestamp right here. Pause this video, enter YouTube utafuta movie, anzia hii timestamp hapa, and I want you to count the number of cuts. $11 fucking cuts from 4 different shots in less than 20 seconds. And I have a feeling that they cranked up the speed right here. I don't know, she kind of moves so funny. No, seriously, I haven't edited this part at all. Just go to this timeline and watch it on your own. I know this looks minimal, but this is really bad editing. Take a look at this other convo scene where Charlotte tells all of them her backstory of how she got conned. Why do we need all these cuts for simple dialogue? Do you know how disorienting it is to cut from a close-up shot, to a wide shot, to a mid-range shot within 10 seconds? This is so unnecessary and it's giving rookie director. Was there ever a shortlist for this scene? Filming ama tu mlifika tu kwa set, mkeka cameras na lights mkanza tu kufinya record. What is the thought process when you decide to edit something so sloppily? Let's not even get started on the establishing shots. The fucking stupid, unnecessary establishing shots.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Why the hell is this so necessary in Kenyan movies? Why is everyone so obsessed with the establishing shots? Why do we need to see the highway? Why do we need to see the city landscape? Why? Cutting goes hand in hand with pacing. I want you to look at this scene right here. Charlotte and Jabari have gone to confront the conman fiancé, and you can tell that this is a pivotal moment. The mood and the atmosphere for this particular confrontation is serious. The big plot twist comes when she realizes that the people who earlier mugged her and put her life in danger were in fact working with his boyfriend. These are dangerous people. Jabari has to constantly even remind her. But if you start doing bullshit like this to people who violently robbed you 2 days ago, you take me away from the movie. Okay, pause. I really don't know if you guys know what a rom-com is. Yes, it's romantic comedy, but the comedy has to be funny. It has to be laughable. It has to be amusing. It doesn't have to be cringe. Every time I was watching the comedy scenes in this movie, all I was doing was dying from cringe. Because look at this scene right here. Just check this out.
Are mosquito bites, like, dangerous? Can I get malaria?
All you need to do is put a little ugali on it. You'll be fine.
Why do you have gully on your forehead?
For the mosquito bites. Can you
Believe it or not, a romantic movie can be a thriller. It can be thriller romantic. It can be a detective romantic. It can be a horror romantic. It doesn't have to be a rom-com. If you can't do comedy, don't do it. You know what's funny? I'm looking at the credits for this film and the editor is called Charity Kuria. She's also the editor for Supermodo, a really good movie by the way. My question to you, Charity Kuria, between Supermodo and Boda Love, in those 6 years, boss, kwani uliweza kuedit movie? What the fuck were you doing during COVID? Didn't you like ever practice on your career or something? Ulikuwa unafanya nini manze? So this is embarrassing. This is something I expect in a Crazy Kenna skit, not a movie. There are 6 types of editing in a film. Eyeline match, cross-cutting, eye trace, split edit, intellectual montage, cut on action. The only cut that you were doing throughout this movie was an eyeline match. That's it. Hizi zingine ni kama ulitupa notes zako za tadia ukiwa kampo. Rudi usome hizo notes, juu ni kama umesahau kile ulikuwa unafanya. And yes, I was keen. I watched this fucking movie in slow motion. At no point throughout the whole movie did you cut on action. Pop quiz, you know what's worse than being dehydrated because I'm not drinking enough water today? Cringe acting and cringe dialogue. I just want you to look at some of the examples of acting.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's just...
Family, you'll always have a free room here.
Thank you, Rodizio. Thank you.
Jobs.
Here, for your mosquito bites.
Oh, thank you. But the ugali worked.
Okay. I'll wait outside.
Oh, wait. You look handsome.
This is the one that pissed me off the most.
The owner just stepped out, but he'll be back soon. Can I get you a drink while you're waiting? Wine, gin and tonic, champagne?
Okay, I understand that most of these people who are working here are rookie and average at best. Hell, this B-list wazungus who got cast in the film are terrible enough on their own, given by their lack of acting resumes. Like seriously, Missy Jupa lulitoa watu wawili. Because I'm looking at the IMDb and I see no movie records. This wigger has the charisma of Martha Karua whenever she spoke during Baba campaigns.
Except this, there's a car. This is a Mercedes 2016 model. We can use that. Okay, so I'll break into the Ministry of Transport. Might take a few days.
Apparently, I'm supposed to believe that this guy is smart because he is able to reverse search an image through the Ministry of Housing database. At the beginning of this video, I pointed out how this film lacks subtext in dialogue. In filmmaking, we have something called subtext. Subtext is the implicit unspoken meaning beneath the surface of dialogue and action, representing a character's true feelings, motivations, or hidden thoughts. The dialogue in this movie is so bad because of how it blatantly spits out the exposition.
Madam, please, let's try this again. But this time a bit slower. You are running, you are very fast, talking very fast.
Everybody says whatever is in their mind. There is completely no realism in it to begin with.
Yani, huyu msichana atamaliza pesa za Jabari.
I can think of a million better ways to say this. Use inner jokes. Use slang. Everybody in this film is speaking like a monk and treating us, the audience, like a bunch of simpletons. There is this rom-com I like very much called The Princess Bride. In this film, Wesley uses a specific phrase to hide his true feelings for Buttercup.
As you wish. As you wish. As you wish.
The subtext is as you wish, but if you look at the voice-over exposition, it simply means I love you. You can see exactly what he means by the way he looks at her. If this was Janet Wells, I'm pretty sure he would have just said I love you. These two bozos just can't write a dialogue if their life depended on it. To the editor for this movie, what the hell are you doing? Why did you have to make me just cringe through all these stupid scenes? To the director Janet Wells, are you afraid of making your actors do more takes? Like I was watching some scenes and they could have easily been solved by doing multiple takes. Like, I don't know, was the budget too thin for you guys to do more than one take a day? Why do you allow garbage things to make it to the final cut and you just sit down and release it to the public? Why do you want to torture me that badly? What did I do to deserve this? Why? To the cinematographer, what is the obsession with establishing shots? Why was this movie shot at 30 frames per second and not 24 frames per second? Am I watching a YouTube video or a movie? And to Gracie Rungu and Janet Wells, also the screenwriters of this movie, in storytelling we have something called a 3-act structure. Where was the third act? Where was it? Like I was looking for the third act and it was nowhere. We got stuck at the climax and then it just nosedived. There was nothing. There was no closure. The acting was cringe. The cinematography was bad. The editing was bad. The directing was bad. The story was bad. Every single thing that makes a movie that should be important was bad. It's other things that are supplementary to the movie that are good. It kind of sucks. Kind of sucks that we have costume designers, set decorators, people who actually work for their craft, have their talent and their skills reduced on garbage because you can't say anything negative about the set and the costumes. They looked good. Like, everybody looked good in this movie, but everyone looked like shit when they were acting. If this was one of those silent movies like Charlie Chaplin where they do nothing but just act, maybe I could have watched it and give it a 8 out of 10. But the moment they open the mouth and start speaking, I just lose brain cells. All in all, I'm giving Boda Love a 2 out of 10. Apart from the costume and set designs, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing to sink my teeth into. It sucks that this is considered the best Kenyan movie of 2024. This is what we get. This is what we get for pushing mediocrity and refusing to call it out. Shout out Janet Wells for giving us this garbage, I guess. All in all, I'm giving Boda Love a 2 out of 10. Apart from... Fuck! All in all, I'm giving Boda Love a 2 out of 10. Apart from the costume and set designs,